Daughters need daddies. Sigmund Freud once said, "I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection." I was very fortunate to have 3 men in my life that I could call father. My stepfather is deceased and was the instrumentation supervisor at ExxonMobil. My real father is also deceased and was a welder for Mobil Oil. My father-in-law is living and is a retired mechanic for DuPont. I have and still continue to reap the rewards of such honorable men. These father figures taught me many values in my lifetime. Today I will share with you 3 of those values: value of an education, value of respect, and the value of caring. The first value I would like to share with you is the value of an education. My stepfather taught me the importance of a college education. My stepfather was one of the smartest men I've ever known. There was never a time that I asked him a question that I didn't get just an answer, I got the right answer. At the age of 38, I decided to go back to college. I was very hesitant about that due to the fact that I had been out of high school for 20 years. I would go to class during the day, bring all my notes and books to my mom and stepdad's house that evening, and he would tell or reteach everything that I had tried to learn at school that day. He would teach it in a way that it was easy for me to understand. He did the same with his grandkids. I guess you could say he was our family's personal tutor. He loved to watch his family learn new things. He loved to see the light bulb come on, so to speak. John took my oldest daughter, Carly, to Beaumont one day, just to hang out, maybe grab some lunch. When they got back that evening, Carly was enrolled at Lamar University taking college classes, and this was the summer before her junior year at high school. He spared no expense when it came to education. He would always say that he couldn't take credit for my kids being so smart because they weren't actually blood related. I'll never forget the time my son Daniel wanted this new talking barbecue pit for Christmas. This was at the top of his Christmas list. He knew Mom and John were going to buy it. Well, Mom and John were doing their Christmas shopping one evening, and Mother was going to show John this cute little barbecue pit. John got real quiet and said, "Vicki, I just can't do it. I can't buy him that. He's just way too smart for that." So needless to say, Daniel didn't get his talking barbecue pit that Christmas. But actually, I think my mother-in-law came in and bought it for him for Christmas. But what John was always doing was buying them something that would challenge them and make them think. He loved magnets and used his every day. So we all had magnets, all shapes, sizes, and forms, all colors. I can still hear him today saying, "It's just physics, Shannon, that's all it is." Second value is respect. My father taught me how to be respectful. Sit up straight, get your elbows off the table, put your napkins in your lap. This was something that was often heard around our table growing up. Kind of sounds like we were fixing to take flight, but what we were doing was sitting down to eat supper. This was something we did every night as a family. This was the time that we would talk about our day. It was then someone would inevitably spill their drink all over the place. You certainly didn't belch, pass gas, get loud, or act up in any way, form, or fashion. If you did, you were unexpectedly greeted by a thump to your nearest body part. We were taught to respect that time as a family, and the time my mother spent to prepare food for 4 children and a husband every night. Manners were a big deal around the Carter house. I come from the days where your mouth was washed out for soap for being disrespectful. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, were the first words that my siblings and I learned to speak. You didn't address an adult by their first name. It better have a Mr. or Mistress attached to it, followed by their last name. Please and thank you were also just as important. Just as my dad taught me the importance of manners as a kid, I've also instilled the values in my own children. My dad was the kind of man that believed the way that you earned respect was to be respectful. Third and final value is caring. My father-in-law taught me the value of caring. He takes care of his younger brother who is mentally challenged and his 94-year-old father. When it got to the point where they were unable to drive themselves and do the routine tasks that we take for granted every day, my father-in-law made his shop into a home for them and moved them into it. They'd be close to him there, and it would be easier on Gary mentally and physically to have them close by. It's pretty comical at times when the 3 of them are together trying to talk, or should I say holler, because none of them actually hear real well. My father-in-law has truly honored his father and brother. He has chosen not to place them in a nursing home. He would bear this burden himself. He makes sacrifices every day that take away from his own time, just to make sure that they get what they need and deserve. Gary is involved in all sorts of community service. He cares for the people in our community. He knows that Gary was also a Marine. He knows the value of friendship and commitment to other people. He faithfully puts out the American flags in town on the holidays. I believe the experience and life lessons he learned early on in the Marine Corps helped to mold and make him into the caring person that he is today. Today I've told you the values I learned from the father figures in my life. My stepfather taught me the value of an education. My father taught me the value of respect. My father-in-law taught me the value of caring. These are the same values that I hope to pass on to my children and grandchildren in the years to come.